Welcome back to Real Chill Conversations. And hey, Brenna, how are you doing today?
Hey, Dominic, I am making it. I am making it. We have
We're making it.
yes, the two of us together between the two of us and all the band-aids and the tape and the bandages that you can put together. We've got it. We MacGyvered this thing. We're gonna get through this podcast together. But y'all just know that we are we making it.
And Brenna, I'm going to ask you today, please, if you can kind of look out for the messages
Sure.
or any comments that we may have. Because last time I was like, oh, I'm going to have to play with StreamYard again because now they changed it again. I'm like, well, where's the messages?
I know in the comments. I gotcha. I gotcha. I've
Okay,
got my
cool, cool.
got my system pulled up, so I'm monitoring everything in real time.
What's up, everybody? Let's start today. The topic of today is when money talks too loud, can love afford it?
Woo! Can love afford it? Now money be speaking loudly now. It be shouting across the room.
Exactly, because when I go across my feed on Facebook, I'm not playing. It's like I see so much of it.
Yes.
And I just be like, okay, we gonna talk about it.
Yes.
If your partner covers all of the bills,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that love or pressure? If
You
you always split the bills, does that mean you just don't care? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I think that it's a great question, and I think that it's an important conversation that you need to have with your significant other when you're talking about finances and what role you play in finances. And I just was having a conversation with someone, maybe it was you I was talking to about this, but I was saying that,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of women that will get up and they'll go to work, they'll earn a good salary, make a good living, but they won't pay for anything. They will just expect the other person, their partner or whoever, to take care of their bills, to handle their travels, cover their beauty appointments, to get their nails done, to get their hair done and all of that. Um and so for me, I never had an expectation of being taken care of. I was raised to be independent, so I was raised to know how to handle a rent payment by myself. I did actually purchase a home by myself, so I never had that mindset of looking for somebody else to take care of my bills. I built a lifestyle that was affordable according to my budget, and I was still able to be successful in my eyes and do things like purchase a home and have a pretty nice car and afford to travel and get a few nice things here and there. So I don't have that mindset, but I think that people that do, um, I don't know where that comes from. I think it's pressure. I think it's pressure from seeing other people living extravagantly, and that's something that that they want to experience. So they put pressure on their significant others to provide them with something that they
Now,
can't do for themselves.
don't get me wrong. There are men out here who there are some men out here who say, I'm gonna take care of my wife. She doesn't have to pay for anything. I'm gonna go out there and get it for her. And that's all fine and dandy. Everybody has their own opinion, their own perception of things
Right.
when it comes to that. But I'm just like you though. I have that mind frame of that when I was a little girl, my mom did instill that in me, be
Mm-hmm.
independent because people are not going to take care of you. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Now, if you find that husband that is just like that, I mean, that's just, I'm just saying that's, personal, a personal choice. He's
Right.
probably making a lot of money. He's probably able to, get it done. But in this economy today, I really would feel really bad to see my man paying for everything and I'm not
Mm-hmm.
helping.
Exactly.
And only because I am raised in that mentality of, being independent and doing things for myself and helping if I can. So to me, even if I was earning more money, um, yes, even, because some nowadays, some women earn more money than men.
They do.
So, like if I'm earning more money, then yeah, I mean, I just can't see my man struggling. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be able to, that wouldn't sit right with me. And then
Yeah.
I do like to get my nails done, love to get my hair done. I love shopping, but
Yes.
all of those things I can provide for
For
myself.
yourself,
So,
exactly. You don't need to, sit around with your hand out saying, "Honey, can I have some money to, to do this and do that?" And I did have a conversation with a hairstylist once, and I was in her chair and we were talking about this, and just finances and money and kind of all of that. And she says that, she makes more money than her man, but he's perfectly fine, with that. He is also an entrepreneur and owns his own business. It just so happens that, she's just very successful in her business, because not only does she style hair, but she also sells bundles, and she teaches classes, and she has
okay,
salon
okay.
suites, so she's got the whole entrepreneur mindset. She doesn't just do the hair. She you can buy it from her, you can book suite space from her, you can do all those things. And at the end of the day, when they line it up, she does make more money than he does, but she says that he never lets her pay for anything when it comes to going out to dinner, when they travel, when they go on trips, when they go to do things. He takes care of everything as far as the house is concerned, any repairs, any things like that. The house bills he always wants to take care of, because he constantly encourages her to reinvest her money that she earns back into her business, because she's always flipping it and turning it into
Oh,
something
wow.
else. So what started out as her having, four suites, now she's up to 10. She's trying to get up to 20 by the end of the year, So I think that that's good. And that's a supportive partner that's saying, yes, I understand my wife, my woman makes more money than me. I respect that. I'm holding her down over here, but I'm allowing her to follow her dreams. And, the money that she's making, I know is for us, but I'm gonna let her do her thing because she's really shining right now. So I really respect that.
I mean, right now, money is talking real loud because, like you said, it looks like it's more like of a lifestyle kind of thing.
It does. Yep.
Um, so it looks kind of bad when people talk about it. It does. It really do.
Mm-hmm.
And I be having a comment because I just be like, we all of us, we were raised differently.
Right.
And some people were actually raised in that mentality of, if you're gonna get you a man, if you're gonna get you a woman, make sure she got some money. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Don't stay quiet.
Speak up. Come
Y'all
on,
know what I'm
comments. Come
right.
on, comments.
And I just feel like in today's economy, financial stress has become very heavily burden on us the people, especially and people that's just trying to make it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So this definitely affects like your whole mood as far as if you're not making enough money, if you're not able to pay the bills, if you're not able to do this or do that or save up or whatever it is that you're trying to do. And if you're not making enough money nowadays, I don't know why, Well, I do know why, because of society.
Oh yeah.
But they make it seem like it's the worst thing in the world.
Right.
And
Right.
honestly speaking, um, the way things are going now, it would be very wise for all of us to definitely take a look at what's going on around us.
Absolutely. I agree with
And
that
it's
wholeheartedly.
increasing because of the times we're in. Like I said, 72. Now, I did look up a study, and 72% of this 72% of the participants reported that money is a significant source of stress for them.
It is.
Okay, so this is not something that I just made up.
Right.
It was actually proven. So
Actually
we
factual.
know that financial stress, this is the number one issue in relationships.
Yeah. More than cheating.
I would say, I would even go as far as saying that, yes.
Yeah, more than cheating. I think that it definitely, when you look at the numbers, and you look at the overall entire scope of the issues and the troubles that interrupt a relationship or cause a problem, I do feel that it's financial. It's financial more than anything else.
Yes, it
It's
is. And remember, we were talking about it on one of our old podcast
yeah,
episodes.
yeah,
And it was like a lot of people in their relationships are not really happy because they don't get to do extra things.
right,
Either somebody is not saving money, or somebody's spending too much money. And then
right,
it's kind of like a burden for them when they want to go out and actually do something, because
yes,
you do need that quality time in a relationship with your significant other. And I feel like if you're just, being, um, spending too much money and you're not taking that into consideration, then it can create a big problem in your relationship.
absolutely. And it'll create resentment. I mean, you're going to resent a person if, I mean, if you guys are, having issues financially with making ends meet, or let's say you're at a stage, in your lives where you're trying to get your kids ready to go to college, and there's those expenses, and college visits and things like that that need to come up, but you're still out here steadily going to the mall and buying Gucci just so that you can go spend $2,000 for a small ass section in the club, and for what, like, if you're still having that kind of mindset that you have to put on for everybody else in order to make yourself feel good, when there's other more important things at hand, like education and health insurance, and making sure that you have the right things that your family needs. People build resentment towards each other when they're not on the same page financially. Now, if you're a couple and you know that the dynamic is different, if you know that one person makes more than the other, I mean, they can make a little bit more, or they can make a lot of it more. However the case may be, you guys need to be on the same page as far as an understanding of what the roles and responsibilities are in terms of the finances, so that there's not that resentment, because resentment is definitely a relationship killer. And if there's financial problems, that's going to be a very easy way for that to sneak on up in there. If you guys have committed to cooking at home, to save on takeout, and also to be healthier because you're on a weight loss journey or a healthier journey, but here you are, ordering takeout 3 times a week, or here comes Uber Eats and here comes DoorDash, but you guys had an agreement that you weren't going to do that. Hey, well, now you've just created tension. because you guys had a plan to do something and you went against that plan. Like I would be pissed if we made a plan and we're like, "Oh, let's do this. Let's use our free 30 days of HelloFresh and get our deliveries." You know what I'm saying? Let's cook our dinner together after work and unwind and talk about our day. That's going to be our thing. But instead, you're like, "Oh no, I just put in an order for DoorDash. It'll be here in 10 minutes." I'll be like, "What?"
Or ladies hiding those Amazon packages.
Guilty.
They come to the door. He be like, dang, she got an Amazon package coming every day.
I
Okay.
know the Amazon driver be like, "What is going on over here? What are they doing?" Yeah. But if you're on the same page and you have an understanding, as far as your finances and you're doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, I mean, I don't see anything wrong with having an Amazon package or two, throwing that in
That's
the
fine. I
mix.
don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But when people also I feel like we also have to understand that everyone have was brought up differently and in our childhood.
Yeah.
So, I remember people telling me when I was little, money doesn't grow on trees
Right.
or save for rainy days. I know my mom used to tell me that all the time.
Right.
Um, and, I've also heard money is the root of all evil.
Yes, I've heard
Or
that too. I've heard that too.
or I've heard it's better to give than to receive,
Than
and
to
that's
receive.
one of those things that I do live by, and I kind of like always held on to that one,
Mm-hmm.
um just because I'm a giver.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to give to people because the smile on their face made me happy.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that being raised to be financially responsible, and yeah, I agree with you. This is definitely something we've talked about on previous podcast episodes, but being financially responsible um allows you to automatically put yourself in a position where you're not in desperate need for your next paycheck in order to take care of something. So let's say you got paid um Friday, right? And then let's say Friday night, you go out, you have dinner, drinks, whatever, whatever. That's your little entertainment money that you've spent. Saturday, you go and you run errands, you do your grocery shopping, this, that, whatever, whatever. You have to get some stuff for the house. So you make a Home Depot, Lowe's run, blah, blah, blah. You spend money, da, 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 da. Sunday, you guys decide that you want to go hit a nature trail. So you're going to pack a nice picnic lunch. You're going to stop at a store, pick up some things and make your picnic lunch, grab a wine, whatever, whatever. But on the way back from your trip, you have a flat tire. So your tire goes out and tire's flat, and you need to get a tow truck, you need to get it brought to a place, you need to get it fixed. For some people, and for a vast majority of people, well, that would have wiped them out until their complete next payday. They would have not been in a position to be able to go ahead and get the car towed, get a new tire, get the tire put on the car, get themselves situated, and be able to turn around and go to work the next day, which is Monday. A lot of us are one paycheck away from any type of financial disaster, and so it's really important to listen to the money when the money is speaking. So even though the money is coming in, that doesn't necessarily mean, at least from my perspective and how I was raised, just because it's coming in, that's not the green light signal go to just spend, spend, spend. I'm not going to just spend, spend, spend because I have it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bank that and I'm going to save it, because I'll never know when I might be in a situation where I have to go into my pockets and I need to do something either for myself, for my household. Maybe a friend might need something. And I can't do that if I'm just constantly spending it as fast as it's coming in.
I think that should be a must anyway. But
Yeah.
let's go into the difference between generosity and enabling. So
Yes.
let's talk about generosity is giving with the intention of helping someone achieve a goal. So it has a clear purpose, right?
Yeah.
However, enabling, on the other hand, is giving in a way that removes the consequences of their actions.
Yep.
And this can be hindering in
Very
long term
much.
growth. So it's just an unhealthy behavior, indefinitely in a relationship. Any type of
Absolutely.
relationship. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It could be your mom, your dad, your friends,
Mm-hmm.
like I always say. So I felt like that was a good one right there because we don't usually think about that and we don't differentiate what it is that we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's very important for us to do that. Um just to be able to have, I mean, I guess that would be like boundaries,
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, there should be, boundaries that are
setting
in
your own
place.
boundaries.
Yep, setting your own boundaries. And I was in a position not too long ago where someone reached out, and they needed some help. And, it didn't take me a whole lot of time to make the decision as to whether I was going to help them or not. But one of the first things I had to remind myself was I'm giving this money without the expectation. I'm removing the expectation that this person is going to pay me back, because
I always do that.
just based on the financial situation that they're in, if they're having to ask me for this amount of money to get them to do something that's just a temporary kind of fix, it's not something that's long term, then they're not ever going to really be in a position to turn around and to give me that money back. So I would never assist someone with financial support with an expectation of, okay, and you need to pay me back by this date or this date, XYZ. We need to set up a payment plan. We need to set up a payment arrangement. If I say that I'm going to help you, I'm just helping you. I'm not even worried about if you're going to pay me back or not.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way unless I truly would need something back.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
I
if
don't
it's
ask for anything.
if you
I barely do. So
yeah,
when I do ask, they be like, "Oh, she needs it. Oh,
right,
she needs it."
right,
Because
exactly.
I really like I can count in one hand, but definitely I think that is a great way to, be able to help others.
Hmm.
And in relationships, I want to talk about goals versus debts
Yes.
because both are financial priorities that must be balanced. So, like you were stating before, establish an emergency fund for your tire that you mentioned. you know, that's very important. Evaluate your debts, weigh in on the pros and cons of paying debts or save first, whichever one is more important to you. I mean, and this is just to some things that we can do to achieve financial security. I feel like once you get to that point of achieving financial security, then you're definitely able to do more as go into the freedom part
Yeah,
because I
absolutely.
think that's when you enjoy it the most.
Yep. Yep. I agree there.
And gifts are really more meaningful when they reflect the thought of the thought of the gift and I love you put
Yes.
into it, not pressure from your partner, not saying, "Oh, you have to give me this," or I want that, and if oh my God, if you don't get this, then it's gonna be over, or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Like, then that's not. that's not what a relationship is about.
Right. Absolutely. Um, you know,
I'm not
I
trying to tell nobody to break up with nobody now. Don't go and break up with your girl or your man because I'm sitting up here saying this. No.
yeah,
If
that's not the intention.
that's not the intention, I'm saying that definitely we all come from different backgrounds. So everybody was raised differently. And sometimes we do have to, you know, communicate with our partner because, that might have been something that was instilled in their mind,
Yeah.
in their lifestyle, not because they're really a bad person or they're out to get you. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some out here like that, but
Mhm.
most than likely they were raised that way.
Yeah, and a lot of the decisions that you make in your life as an adult really come from your childhood experience and what you were exposed to, whether it was something that you were taught directly or indirectly by your parents, by another adult, another, influential figure, someone that you felt a connection with, a favorite teacher or something like that. So you kind of, it's like monkey see, monkey do. I mean, if you grow up and you just see that all your parents do is spend money and
Some
this, and that,
people.
some, yes, correction, some, then you are likely to repeat that behavior. But if you see that it's destructive and it's not helpful, then it may actually have the opposite effect on you, and it'll cause you to make sure that you put measures in place and have boundaries set up so that you don't repeat those same patterns and behaviors and have financial irresponsibility and
So, how
have.
do you feel if you were dating someone? Let's just put this scenario. Well, you're not dating someone, but someone likes you and
Mhm.
they want to eventually be able to date you, but they're not going to spend any money on you until you're officially dating, because that was one of the um Dominic, he was on the podcast. He actually, I wanted him to come on today because this was definitely a topic that he could have chimed in today.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
this was one of his posts that he had posted, and I was like, wait a minute. So, how are you getting to the point of dating? Is it just phone conversations?
Yeah, like what's happening? Is it phone conversations or like meetups at the coffee shop? Are you, walking
No,
Stone
he
Mountain?
said that he wouldn't. I guess the post was like, unless you're officially dating, there's
He's
no
not,
money
there's
being
no money,
spent.
there's no
So,
money
how do
being
you
spent.
feel about that statement?
I mean, again, I'm not looking for someone to spend money on me to show me that they're interested in me. I'm looking for that person to show me that they're interested in me by how they treat me, how they talk to me, the connection that we're able to have. It's not about them presenting me with, a black and white Chanel
I
box.
like that and I hear that, but how do you feel about that statement? Do you feel it's like it's valid, or because I'm just trying to see how are you going to get to the point of, well, me just being, the age that I am. And I know we all are different ages. Like the old me would have been like, yes, we could talk on the phone till we start dating. But the new me is like, baby, I don't have time for the phone. Like, if you want to date me, you're gonna have to come correct.
Right.
And we're gonna have to do the face to face thing.
Right.
Like, we're not gonna be just talking on the phone.
Right. Well, yeah, you've got to spend time together, and that's going to involve activities. And 9 out of 10, times spending time together and activities, those types of things are usually in the environment of a meal, or maybe going to a museum or checking out an art show or something like that. So yes, money is going to be spent in the courtship phase. I guess if we're talking about the protocols of dating, I think before you get yourself into a situation where you put the dating label on it, I think you're in a courtship. You are trying to see, is this someone that you want to continue to pursue and connect with? So you're courting them, and courting them involves spending money. It involves going places. It involves doing things. It involves traveling somewhere.
Right, because I mean, come on, you know,
We're too
um,
old to just be, to just be
talking on the
texting,
phone.
we like
We're gonna be talking on the phone until we start dating. I mean,
like
that's
I,
just
I have a
at
job.
this
I don't want to
age that
talk
I
on the
am
phone,
now.
you
I'm
know?
sorry. Like I can't do it. I just
No.
can't. I want to ask this question though. Can people agree on when and how they give within their budget?
If people have a conversation, and what your income is, what your expenses are, and things like that, then I think you have an understanding of what you're comfortable with and can keep yourself aligned within that budget. But like
But
I've
I don't
seen.
think people can because Dan, okay, if I get like a gift that's not that expensive, but if you're wearing like a lot of expensive stuff, I mean, you may talk about my gift.
I don't think of it like that. And what I was gonna say is that
I'm not saying me, I'm just saying other people.
I know, I
Because
know,
I'm going to go according to how you carry yourself. That's how I give because I'm
right.
paying attention to
I'm
either what you
noticing,
like or what you
yes.
wear, where you go to eat and stuff like that. And then I'll just go from there. But some people, I know for me, I'm just going to give me as an example. When it's a gift, as long as it's with love, I don't care, right?
Right.
I'm not that picky girl. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be like, oh, what is that? You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Right.
I accept all gifts. So that's
Accepting.
definitely not me because I'm not a materialistic person. But when
Right.
I give, I do look at the expectations of others only because I'm like, okay, what if I give them something that they're gonna be like, what the heck? What is this?
Well, yeah, I mean, so my gifting thing, and what I was gonna say previously in my statement, is that I have a friend, and they're now, they're newly married. They've been together for quite some time, but they're newly married. But every year at Christmas, they're always like, okay, our budget for each other is this. We're not gonna spend more than $500 on each other. That's it. That's the limit.
Oh, so they
And
can actually do that.
so the point of that is, at this point, and at this, where we are with how you know who I am and the things that I like, and your ability to pay attention to detail, you should be able to find something that puts a smile on my face, that is falls underneath the $500 and below category, that could do it just as much as a $30,000 Birkin bag. But
What
if
if $500 is still too much for somebody? I mean, some
then
women look down on men who can't afford certain things. And
I
I'm
mean,
just going to be truthful about it.
and
I
that is a
mean,
fact. That is a
you
fact
know,
that some
but
people just don't
but
have it
they
like
can't
that.
afford it themselves. So
Right.
I'm just like, why are you looking down on a man because he's not able to afford this for you, but you can't even afford it yourself? It's not even in your bank account.
Right. You should not, and that's where I'm with you on that, is I don't think that you should
To
have an
me,
expectation of someone doing for you that you can't even do for yourself. So if you can't even, stand up to that $500 budget, if we got to knock the budget down to $100, or if we got to knock it down to 50, shoot, and just go to Bath and Body Works and call it a day, whatever the case may be. You can't expect more from a person than you're willing to also outlay, if that makes sense. So if you're not
Yeah.
willing to spend, $200 on someone, if that's your quote unquote budget or what have you, then why are you expecting them to spend $200
To
on you?
me, it's because you're projecting insecurity of your own,
Right.
financial anxieties onto others. I mean, that's just the way I see it. I mean, you can't get mad at me for not being able to afford something that you want, but you can't even afford it yourself.
Right.
And I am a firm believer of that.
I
So
would agree. I would definitely agree
if
with
I'm
that
not
there.
if I'm not adding to you, then what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just talking about in money, but adding value in the relationship, not taking away from you, but not taking away to break you down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have seen, and there are some women out here that will get with a man for money, take all of his money, and then nothing is there.
Nothing is
No
there.
cushion for him.
Right.
No cushion for him. And see, um, this gift cultural trap to me
Ooh, I love
is
that. I love that. Where is the bell? Where is the bell?
oh wait,
Ding a
where's the
ling a
bell?
ling a ling a ling a ling a ling on that. Okay. I'm a
Where
ding a ling a ling a ling a ling a ling a ling on that.
there
Okay.
goes the bell.
All right. That was a bell
Um
moment. That was a bell moment.
the obligation and the pressure to give and reciprocate gifts. This is created by a cycle of social obligation.
Mm,
Okay.
yes.
It
Yes.
really has become too much of a burden to some
Right.
and very misleading and harmful, especially when gifts have strings attached.
That's the worst. That is the worst because to me, it's like, please don't do something for me. Please don't try to win me over with a gift to try to, cover up for, an F up that you've made, or you've done something that knew you had no business doing. So you're going to try to offset it by going out of your way and getting me, some expensive ass gift. Don't do that. Please don't play that game with me because I do not like that at all. Do not weaponize your gifts that are supposed to be of pure intention towards me to something that you're hanging over my head by constantly reminding me of, the expensive ass gift that you got me. Well, if it's this expensive ass gift that you got me with your raggedy ass, don't get it for me then next time. Nobody asked you to get me that. you know so I don't need to play that game.
Y'all, burner is going off. Okay, so now we're gonna go to this section of the topic. What we can afford versus what we deserve.
Oh yes.
So this was another part of the topic. Comfort with money is tied to both resource limits and mutual respect, financial reality, and emotional impulses.
Hmm. Yeah.
Why do some people just are so, particularly some people, they are, their belief is that they are entitled to something.
Here we go with the entitlement, the entitlement, the entitlement, the entitlement of it all. Listen, I do not know where this entitlement gene came from, who developed it, who designed it, and all of their viral testings and of trying to create antibiotics and all these medications. Who came up with the entitlement gene? Because it is out
Well, some
here.
women feel like because they look good, they have the body. I'm gonna say some, y'all.
And
Please
oh,
don't come over here. Like I'm saying, some. Please do not come over here for me, cause baby. Okay, some women feel like because they have the body and they keep themselves up and they're beautifully groomed, that man did it deserve for a man to take care of them.
I can't. I just
You never seen that?
no, no, no. I've seen it. I've seen it. What I'm saying is that I can't.
So
I
they feel entitled to be treated with all these gifts and pay all my bills because I am a 10.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is that just because you are a 10, sweetheart. First of all, beauty fades. It's not forever. Yes, there are some very fine specimens of women that are in their double digits, their high double digits of age, and do not look a day over 35. Amen to that. So that does exist. And I think those women are blessed with that when they are living with intention and walking in their purpose. That's a rewind back to a previous podcast episode. So go back and rewind and check that one out and get caught up with walking with intention. But anyway, this whole idea of I'm pretty and I look good and my body is nice, so I should have everything and I deserve all the new shiny bright things in the world. I cannot stand that mindset and that thought that people feel like just because they look a certain way or they can pay
Now I
to
was
look
gonna
a
bring it
certain
up.
way that they're able to just have the world handed at their feet. I can't.
You know I was gonna bring it up.
Hmm. Don't piss me off. Don't make me angry. Oh, that
Guys,
irritates
avoid
me.
language that shames or pressure. Okay, because that sounds like you're buying love. And you can't buy love.
No,
You
you
just
can't.
can't. Now, if you want to try to buy it anyway, you're not buying love, you're buying something else. Okay?
But
You're
what are
definitely.
you buying? Like, give an example of what you think somebody would think they're accomplishing when they're buying love. What would that look like if you had to create an image? What would the visual look like? What would that picture be?
I don't think no one can buy love. You
Mm-mm.
can
You
I can
can't.
act like I love you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can give me thousands of dollars and I'm pretty sure that a person can act like they like you and stuff like that. But I mean, you just can't,
You
it's not there. You
It's
know what
not
I'm
there to
saying?
it's not there. You can't just swipe or tap to just purchase it. You just can't do that.
Right. So unless you're coming with money or a gift through the door, it's like I'm there's not I don't have anything for you.
Mm-mm.
That's the mind frame that I get. But of
Yeah,
course, to me, it's like you can't buy love. I don't care how much money you have. And let me tell you, love is beautiful. So if you really like love your person, they love you, like you can experience something that is worth way more than money.
absolutely.
One
Absolutely.
partner, let's go into this because I did want to talk about this as well. One partner may see money as security, and the other
Hmm.
one may see it as freedom. Learn the
Hmm.
difference because I don't think we acknowledge both.
Right.
And I think this is a very key part of why we have so many questions about people. Because again, you may see money as a security, the other
Hmm.
person might see it as a freedom. So
Right.
it, and I'm not saying that somebody is right and somebody is wrong.
Hmm.
None of, actually, both of them are right.
I was gonna say they're both valid
Right.
responses.
They're both valid depending on what section of your life you're in.
Yeah.
Psychology of money, sometimes the way a person views money is based on their upbringing, like I was telling y'all, past
Yes.
experiences, and personal values.
Yes.
What one person may value may not be the same thing that you value, especially
Exactly.
when it comes to money.
Mm-hmm.
So you do want to be careful for that. And for those who view money as freedom, it is a tool to use to create life in your own terms.
Exactly.
You know,
And that's the key. That's one of the key things that you're saying, in your own terms, not
absolutely.
what you saw on Instagram or TikTok. Just because you
Right,
saw them do it does not mean that you have to put yourself into all of this,
right.
financial debt just to try to keep up with something that's not even going to trend. It's only going to be trending for 3 more hours. It's only going
And
to
to
be
break it
trending.
down, like I said, some people is not going to be in the same financial section that you're in your life. You
Right.
might be in still in the saving factor. You know,
Mm-hmm.
in the saving. What's the word I'm looking for? Help me out. In the saving phase. There you
Phase.
go.
Good. There you
There
go.
you go. And then the other person might be in the freedom phase.
Yes. Phase.
So
Good.
when people are out here giving their opinions and stuff about do is money, does money talks too loud? Can love, fulfill um anyways, to break it down, the two are very necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, security, then achieving freedom.
Right.
We should first build a stable foundation to cover the needs, whatever we need, the bills, protection. And once you are safe, then we can use additional capital to create more choices in the way we want to live.
Right.
So that's where freedom comes in. And like I said, everybody is not in the same phase financially. So
Mm-hmm.
we do have to take that into consideration when we're out here taking other people's opinions and make sure that we're not talking down on them just because they may be in a totally different financial state than you are.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Depending upon your phase and where you are in the process is very important. And it's very important for you to not constantly, like back in elementary school when you used to have to take a test and your teachers would be like, eyes on your desk, don't be looking at, Johnny's answers or
Right.
Lisa's answers on the desk next to you. Don't be trying to peek and see what they doing. Just worry about what you're doing. Just worry about
Absolutely.
what your phase is. And if you're in the savings phase because you want to create that security, I say do that. Establish the security because that security is going to be your foundation. The security is going to be your trust. And what better way to really truly enjoy the fruits of your labor than to be pulling it from a place of security and stability. So
That's
you've
right.
saved, you've done what you've needed to do. Now you can sit back and enjoy without worrying, did you overspend on this trip? No, because we saved up enough to take care of X, Y, and Z. We all the bills are paid. This is paid for. This is paid for. All we have to worry about while we're on this trip is what are we eating and what are we drinking. Don't have to worry about anything else. So yeah, you need to be in a place of security in order to allow for the freedom to be surrounded by you. Security, and then you get your
So the
freedom.
question was, when money talks too loud, can love afford it? Oftentimes, love cannot afford it.
That's the
When
sad.
money talks too loud. The stress and the conflicting values can really mess up the emotional connection, y'all.
It
It's
really
just point
can.
blank period.
Yep.
I mean, you really have to have a strong connection with someone and really have to have those feelings there in place in
Mm-hmm.
order for it not to. So I did want to go into this one, split, save, or spoil, because all of them, even though um well, let's start with split. Splitting expenses, save diligently for the future, spoil each other, and live in the moment. Um, that is what I would go by because,
Yeah.
again, I don't want to see my partner struggling, and I don't want my partner to want me to struggle.
Right.
So at the end of the day, um, that's one of the things, like money to me is money, is for handling business,
Yep.
making sure you straight, making sure your bills are paid, making sure that you can reach that financial freedom where you're able to kick back and still make money, and do all the things that you enjoy doing.
Absolutely.
And so I have come to the end of this topic today. Do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with everyone? I don't know if we had any comments or not, y'all, because
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything pop up. I looked a little bit of a quieter night. Maybe people will engage on the
I
replay.
did
But
see some people in here, but maybe they just didn't post anything in the comments.
yeah, which is fine. Don't
Um,
y'all don't need to be shy by now if y'all don't know already. Y'all don't definitely don't need to be shy for sure. But no, I just, would like for people to just remember to um do what is best for you in your relationship and your finances. Don't be trying to keep up with the Joneses. And yeah, it's this nice cute trend where there's all these couple reels and TikToks and things of them doing stuff together and having all these glorious adventures, and it looks like they're very luxurious and flying private and all that other kind of stuff. But it's okay if you guys got to fly Spirit to get to where you're going, as long as you're going together and are enjoying yourselves. It's okay if you're staying at
I'm not
the
going on Spirit. I'm telling you that now. I'm buying the tickets. I'm gonna get us a better plane ticket, baby. Don't worry. But we not going in Spirit, okay? We not doing. That's what we not gonna do.
Well, I stand corrected. We are not going on Spirit by any means
But yeah,
necessary.
what Brenda was saying, but I'm gonna buy the tickets, baby. Don't worry.
so don't so we
Okay.
so we don't have to worry about going on Spirit. But I just, live and love within your means, not compare to what you're seeing on social media, Instagram, TikTok, and all this other kind of stuff. Don't get wrapped up in all the, with the window dressings and the, fantasy of it all, because we're all seeing stuff that's just blowing up left and right. You just
And I'm not I'm not I'm sorry. Let me go back to that spirit thing. I'm not trying to be like
you
funny or
too bougie
anything
for
about the
Spirit.
price, okay?
You too bougie for Spirit. Is
It's
that what
not
you
that.
say?
It's not that. I'm just scared of it, okay? I'm just scared of the ride. It's too much of a bumpy ride for me.
Well, you could pick your own seats now. They've made that change, so maybe they got better
I don't
chairs
think
for the
that's gonna make
plane.
a difference.
All right, y'all. I don't got nothing else except be good to each other, live in love within your means, and we'll see y'all next week.
Oh wait, I have my final
Oh,
comments.
go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, let me get serious, y'all. I'm sorry. Um, First of all, thank you so much for joining us. I do want to say that money can amplify connections. It really can. So if you have a great connection with someone, and they bringing something to the table, or you're bringing something to the table, which is probably finances, then that is a bonus. Is it the center of your relationship? Absolutely not. Don't make it, okay? Um, because once you make money the center of your relationships, then that's when the tension is going to begin. That's when the problems are going to begin. So don't let it dictate your love. By sharing values, setting boundaries, and having empathetic communications, um, couples can come into alignment in their own goals and connections without letting money be the center of the relationship, like I stated. So when money talks too loud, can love afford it? Um, Look at money as a tool.
Right.
That's the saying. I try to do that. I mean, for each his own, because you're gonna do whatever you want anyway. But I mean, as for me, I just look at it as a tool, because if I sit here and concentrate on it, baby, it no.
Yeah.
So, money, you could use it for shared dreams, shared goals that you have with your partner. Not It's not a measurement to your worth. So
Right.
please do not let it determine how much you're worth. If you don't, you're continuing a cycle of pressure and shame in your relationships. So you're never going to be able to have genuine relationships, and you're not going to have that person that's there for you, but you're going to have a person that's there for what you can give them and what you can do for them,
Yep.
and that will not help you find true love. So yes,
Hmm.
in moments like that, you're really just having people in your life because of what you could do for them or how much you can give them.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna lie, some people out here will shave you dry.
Absolutely.
So you just gotta be
Absolutely.
mindful, in the situations that you all put yourselves in.
Hmm.
And that's it.
Absolutely. That's
And
it.
that's all.
And that's all.
And next week, um, I am working on getting a guest on. So we will have him come in the building. He is a formal artist, and looking forward to that.
Yes, very excited. Sounds like it's going to be some good stuff. And again, everybody, we appreciate you. Thank you for sticking by us as always. Check us out on YouTube. Get your friends to check us out. Join the Facebook group. Mention any topics that you'd like for us to talk about in the comments section. And we will see you next week, y'all.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.